Alright, hey guys, this is Nefarious, and this is another replay analysis. This game I played Abbadon. The average MMR in this game was roughly 3.3. So probably around where my MMR is at. I'm about 3.2 something. I think at the time of this video I am 3287. And this video I played when I was at 3288. So I apologize, I can't figure out how to turn off like the heavy highlights, but if you can figure that out, let me know. So this is actually probably my first game as Abbadon in quite some time. I picked it because I picked first, and I don't think this was really the hero I should have grabbed. I'm not super comfortable on him, and I think it shows in this game. I missed my block here, so that's a minor thing I need to improve. I probably should have just muted everyone in this game, honestly. And this wasn't worth it to like just right click at that guy. I should have probably been at the creep wave getting XP and blast hitting. I also feel like I super liberally used my shields more than I should have, because when your shield is down or you don't have the mana to use the shield, then you become vulnerable, and this hero shouldn't be vulnerable at all in the laning stage. Yeah, I really underestimated how long the cast animation on this shield was. So I would just spam it, and I tried to soak up some XP, probably not worth it. They do get double waved though, so I'm pretty happy with that. They didn't pull through, so it ends up being okay in the end, I guess. We missed out on some XP, but they'll push in the next wave, and I apologize, I can't figure out how to turn off the ultra highlights, and if you know how, please let me know. So we're up against a tri-lane, kind of. I mean, Sand King's mostly in the jungle, but it's still a tri-lane. Yeah, the laning phase, I feel like I was extremely inefficient with farming in my movement in the lane. I spent a lot of time going into their jungle for no good reason. And that's definitely something I should avoid doing in the future, because I think I should at least be level 3 by now, but I missed 3 or 4 creeps just by hanging out in their jungle so much. I need to get a little bit better at pre-hitting, but Abbadon's attack range makes it a little hard to pre-hit. I think my skill build was a little off, and I think my item build was definitely really off, at least at the start of the game. I think the build in general was okay, but at the start of the game I was really lost and kind of at a loss for what I should be doing. And that's where the Stout Shield would be good. I could go up to the lane without fear. Yeah, I should have shielded myself if I was going to go up, because my clarity got popped immediately, and now I'm not going to have mana for a long time, and shielding my own creeps is really bad. It's dangerous, because it definitely risks pushing the wave. It's a little bit of free harass, but there's no way for me to capitalize on that, and I'm not going to be able to zone him out by throwing out shields, so it's something I need to be a lot more conservative with. I feel like I should have ignored Curse of Avernus and probably got in this lane and maybe last hit with Mortal Coil from a distance a little more safely. And I definitely think I could have benefited from just the extra nuke potential. Yeah, so I was just looking through stats, and that's a really bad sign, because that just goes to show how inexperienced I was with this hero, and picking it at this point was definitely not... Yeah, I actually go and I mute Bane right then. I should have muted Sand King too, honestly. But so far, my laning phase, I'm getting some decent levels. I mean, level 4 in the off lane, I think you're pretty happy with. Especially when you're up against what is supposed to be an aggro try.
Middle is busy.
I didn't have... I think I should have definitely grabbed a Stout Shield. I don't think Quelling Blade is good. That's probably not necessary. My damage is decent, and... yeah, so I actually grabbed an Orb of Venom, and I don't know how good that is. I feel like in a lane where I can be more aggressive, it'd actually be really good. That's where I think a value point in Curse of Avernus is... yes, Curse of Avernus is very strong. But in this lane, where there wasn't very much kill potential, I feel like I could have just benefited from another point in Mortal Coil to try to last hit more, harass a little bit better, and I have no mana to help Bane, and that's where me just spamming spells is really bad. I probably could have saved him, but yeah, that's what concerned me a little bit. He turned around, and I don't think he needed to. I couldn't heal him. We get the kill on the Animage, but it's not that good because it was the tower who got the last hit, and because of that, we didn't get very much gold. So I needed to be more conservative. I think starting a Mango probably would have been better than the Fairy Fire. I think damage-wise, Abbadon doesn't, it's not going to make a huge difference to have that Fairy Fire. Because I shouldn't get so low that I really need to pop the Fairy Fire, I feel like. So, early itemization, especially starting items and skill build, were definitely some things I needed to work on. Yeah, I tried to bait out some damage since I knew I had my ult, but didn't really get anything. Just ended up with a bit of just my ult on cooldown, which is something I should probably be a little worried about, since they have the Sand King's Son plus the Crystal Maiden. I should be very conscious of it. So I go Phase Boots because I feel like our team, we have Enchantress and we have Bane, and I thought the Enchantress was playing support, but she went more of a core role, and I think you need to anticipate that when you're playing solo queue. Unless they say to you that they're playing support, you should think that they're not, no matter what hero they pick. I've had several core dazzles on my team, and it's all kinds of stuff. Like, communication is key. Make sure everyone knows that this is what's expected of them, and yeah, I feel like it was a very... I feel like I just misplayed a lot in this lane. I think Abbadon's actually a great hero to gain MMR with. I think he's a fantastic hero to grind your solo with, but only if you really know how to play him. So I wasn't too worried about this. I have my ult up, so I'm not really afraid, especially so close to my tower. It's like, okay, you can go on me, but I'm just gonna be able to walk back to my tower after. I also feel like I should have carried some TPs, because Abbadon is really good at rotating with the Mist Coil plus the shield. Yeah, I think nothing really happens here, so... yeah, I wasn't worried, but I probably should have played a little more defensively so my ult didn't get popped. I also feel like I probably could have benefited greatly from just walking back to base. Here I thought I very well could have died if he dropped creep aggro under the tower. I honestly should have just walked back to base and buy some items, refill my mana. Mostly just get the TP scroll, probably 2, so that I can come back to my lane. And at level 7, since I have max shield, which absorbs 200 damage, I definitely could have been rotating to save our Spectre, who was having a hard time. Save Zeus, who I think had a fairly difficult time against what was mid Beastmaster, yes. And just I played poorly around the map, and this is a hero where you can really just protect your team and secure your late game by winning all of your lanes. Or at least not feeding in your lanes. It's probably a better way to say it. Like, you won't feed in your lanes. Another problem I had is I got so forward, so aggressive, that I was just convinced. I was like, okay, I'm fine because I have Curse of Avernus, and that made me think I was invincible. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, since this is a pretty stagnant laning phase, and outside of just last hitting and probably pressuring, I think I might have been able to pressure him a little more. Yeah, I pressure him a little bit there, but now that my ult is down, I should be playing super carefully. It's kind of like when you play techies and you don't have suicide up. You need to play super cautiously. You go from this hero that's really hard to kill to a hero that's actually pretty easy to bring down. Yeah, I feel like if I was active on the map and probably went drums before this blade mail, just a good helpful aura item for my team, I could have been more useful and contributed more to the game in general, but I just didn't. I didn't contribute very much at all. And I pushed forward with no Curse of Avernus, so this is really risky. And this is why I wish I had more points in Miscoil. I think if I had one more point in Miscoil, he wouldn't have died. But it's still maybe if I had maxed it, 'cause I don't know if I did the 2 points. Okay, no, so he would have lived anyway. All right, that's good to know. That's good to think. That's a little reassuring, but I'm playing really forward, and I don't have any idea why. So I see the Beastmaster, and I play back, but I know he's still here, or at least I don't have any real... I know he was here, but I don't know exactly where. So he could have rotated out for all I know, but I feel like I just play so forward, thinking, alright, I have Curse of Avernus, there's no way they can kill me, when that's really not the case. See, when this Anti-Mage started rotating is really when I should have. And if I had walked back to base earlier when I got harassed a little bit by Crystal Maiden and Anti-Mage, and this was a huge mistake. I let my ult get popped by creeps. And that's just me missing some last hits. And yeah, if I had walked back to base or managed my mana and health a little bit more, I could have rotated and very likely saved my teammates. So that's something I should do more when I play this hero. Here's me farming. The center ult was popped, and that's another... I could have TP'd bot, but I didn't. I probably could have saved Enchantress. Because if they're all so low, if I had been able to TP, then we could have found some kills. And that's also why I think I should have got the drums first. I wouldn't have had it yet, obviously, but...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I should have backed here. Yeah, I'm playing really far forward when we have no vision, and they're all pretty much up. So, this is a pretty basic error, I feel like. Like a really basic error, because now, so Anti-Mage is TPing in, and I just stand, so I walk back this way instead of trying to back out, and I think I definitely should have backed out, not seeing where the Beastmaster was, or where the Crystal Maiden was, or where the Sand King was, and just playing a really greedy game. I could have at least bought some wards. And now I should definitely have a TP on me. I mean, I don't have mana, but my presence with my ult, I could soak up a lot of damage. And I did build a more right-click oriented build, too. So Zeus is coming up here, but I don't have any mana for anything, and trying to be careful now not to get my ult popped again. And this is a problem. Just being this out of mana for the past like 7 minutes, I've had no mana. And that's not even something I can attribute to be like, well, I'm up against an Anti-Mage. It's like, no, I have barely been attacked by this Anti-Mage. So it's just me playing wrong. Like, it's so bad to be out of mana for this long on pretty much any hero. I guess Huskar, it's probably okay. So I feel like the Blade Mail first, not really the choice. They only have really 2 AoE spells, the Crystal Maiden and the Sand King. If I had had a TP, I might have been able to TP in and save the Bane. I don't know why I walked back there. I didn't buy anything. So just a lot of inefficiencies, and this is something, if you watch my other videos, I touch on a lot. Like, I'm just being super inefficient, and I try to stand inside his sandstorm to get some healing. And now that I don't have my Curse of Avernus, yeah, this is when I should back. I got the kill and just let myself blow up. Like, I should have backed as soon as I killed him, walked back to base, and been like, alright, I'm happy with that. I got a kill, and that's good for me, and then just walked back. But I overstayed my welcome. I should not have been there, and it was costly. That was 400 gold just for me from the mage. That was not worth it at all. So I should be fast forwarding when I'm dead. This is me looking around the map, TPing back top. I don't know why I went back top. I think this is the time when I could have just roamed around the map and started being a part of fights for my team. That was my Steam, by the way, not yours. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Alright. So, yeah, this is, if I had been, I should have, I think, just camped out with the Spectre the whole game. I should have just been like, alright, Spectre, I'm going to get you fat and I'm going to get you into the game. But if we take a quick peek at net worth, Spectre's not doing great, or not doing terrible, but I think she should be a lot better for right now. And this is another situation where I overstayed my welcome. And I learned just that, you know, Beastmaster boars, oh my god, they hit really hard, but definitely being too aggressive, definitely being too forward, and this is where I think we really started to lose grasp. Enchantress did pretty good, and Zeus did pretty good too, but it just wasn't enough, I don't think. Especially because Animage got a kinda timely Battle Fury. I don't know if I'd say, I guess 17 is alright, but he didn't get treads or anything else, so. Fast forward till I'm alive. I don't know if we get him. He's kind of fast, and the board slow is just so huge. Alright, so we do get him, but again, I just feel like I'm playing the wrong way. And it's a way a lot of people seem to play in their pubs, where they're playing like 1v9 Dota. And it's kind of like, it's just me. Like, I'm playing a very selfish game, a very personal game. A game where I'm not even thinking about, alright, does my team need me? I'm just like, yeah, let me just do my own thing, do whatever I want to do. Like, oh, I want to farm, get my blade mail, but ultimately it actually probably takes me longer to get my blade mail since I didn't group up with my team, since I didn't try to be part of these fights, since I didn't try to really make these kills happen for my team. And then here's another time where I just get completely blown up, and another time I overextended like heavily, and I pay for it, and just they just snowball so hard off of my deaths. Like, I fed this Animage a lot of kills.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So, it's one of those situations where I was that player that was like, I don't care about what my team needs, I just want to play my own game. I may be playing a hero like Abbadon, who is fantastic, like absolutely fantastic at just helping his team, making pressure on the map, and winning fights for his team, especially in the early game when his shield absorbs. 200 is a lot in the early game. 200 is a Crystal Maiden stun. 200 is Beastmaster axes. 200 is like 3 auto attacks from the Animage, since most people aren't hitting for harder than, say, like 70 the first 10-ish minutes. So it's something that I definitely could have been a part of. I definitely could have been a part of my team and really contributed in ways that could have put us very far ahead in this game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So, I think, and now you see that my farming has become very subpar. My Blade Fury, no, sorry, not Blade Fury. My Blade Mail should have been done a couple minutes ago, and I just barely get it at 21 minutes. Like, if that's my first item, and it's only a 2k item, and my other items are Phase and Orb, and then a Wand, yeah, that Blade Mail should hopefully be done by 15 minutes. So, and I think I could have got that gold just by being a part of kills and rotating around the map and helping my team out, and I just didn't do that. I really failed to do what this hero was really good at. And here's another time where I just really failed to do what my hero is good at. I overextend again. I managed to buy my pieces to my Blade Mail before I die, but that was another time that I just really, really failed to do what I needed to, and it cost us not just me, but Spectre and Zeus as well. So I just feel like I played so poorly in this game, and my score reflects that right now. It starts to look a little better, but I don't think it really means I'm accomplishing that much good. So I'm dead for a while, so I'm just gonna fast forward till I'm back, and I'm trying to ping Bane back, and make sure I didn't go too far back. Alright, so I get my Blade Mail, but it doesn't really feel like it's gonna do that much at this point. Like, it feels late, because it is. It feels like I should probably have had like one more item or something before I tried to do that, and before I went for the Blade Mail. Like, even a Bracer, just for a little bit more beef, a little bit more damage, probably would have been really good, right? Like, for me at this point. I'm just standing still. I'm trying to just sit behind I think my thought process here was sit behind Spectre, try to make sure she doesn't die.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I TP into this fight, but it feels late. I don't get my shield off. I should have shielded before I healed.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So, just a little bit of poor spell usage, I think. So, I just feel like, yeah, this is just one of those situations, and I'm not going to put it all on that. There's a lot of common sense stuff I did poorly, such as rotations, map awareness, and farming efficiency, but it just feels like I just am not comfortable with this hero yet, and I feel like that cost my team the game, and this was a super inappropriate time for me to pick up Abbadon. And even if I did, I should have thought to myself, what did I see other successful Abbadons do? Well, I didn't see successful Abbadons sit around in their lane and farm. I definitely did not see that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I should have been moving around the map, trying to make some plays, and
Structures are fireproof. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dire's top tower has
so
fallen.
a little skirmish, it doesn't matter.
Tower is under attack.
I don't have a TP again, which is another big misplay. I managed to walk away from that one fine, but our Bane does get caught out, and that doesn't matter. I'm trying to focus on me. Alright, I just want to get through some of this stuff.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under
I feel really inefficient this game, and that's something that a lot of players at my level do. They're just inefficient. Like, look at this. I walked all the way down bot when I should have probably stopped mid and farmed for a little while, knowing I needed some gold, knowing I needed some XP.
Killing spree.
So that was another really big inefficient move, was just walking all the way from top lane to bottom. And I probably could have shoved out mid a little bit. First, I probably should have grabbed it. I definitely should have grabbed a TP from the side shop. And I could have really benefited from farming up the mid lane and then maybe TPing bot if I thought I could have helped. So I decided to buy a bunch of the wards since I figure Bane and Enchanters aren't buying them, which is good. I needed to do that. I needed to contribute in some way, since I really failed to do so earlier. Because I think Abbadon shines in the first, like, 20 minutes of the game. And if you don't make a really positive impact for your team in the first, say, 20 minutes, I think you've kind of, at least in my opinion, and I could definitely be wrong, and I'm not saying the hero doesn't scale, I'm just saying I think the first 20 or so minutes is where this hero is really good. Like, exceptionally good. So... So this fight goes really in our favor, and I don't think it was because of anything. I think I was fairly well positioned, and I kind of decided, alright, I need to be in the middle of these fights. I need to be the one to be standing in the midst of these fights so that I soak up all this damage, I soak up all this control because I have my ultimate. So, and if I had been doing that for the first 20 minutes of the game instead of right now, I think it really could have changed how this game ended up going. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, not too far. I just want to get to a point where maybe something happens. And this is another error. My team was like, we should back, but I thought to myself, no, this is fine. And I have no idea what the courier was doing right there, but...
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, so that, I overextend again. And I just fed a lot this game. Like, I fed just so many kills away this game, and it was just unacceptable. Just really unacceptable play, and extremely poor positioning, and extremely poor map awareness on my part. Worst part was I usually try to do a warm-up game, and I'm just going to fast forward till I'm back, because I'm focusing on me, not on what my team does, even if I think I played perfect. I just need to reflect on myself and try not to distract myself with what other players are doing.
Dire's top tower.
So I finished my Vlads, and it's just such late itemization. Like, I'm actually almost at the bottom of the net worth as an offlane Abbadon.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We get this guy and de-ward them up here.
Is under attack.
So I just feel like I just wasn't impactful this game, and the things that I personally see why is positioning in fights, map, very poor rotations, itemization, early game itemization. Maybe my skill build a tiny bit, but I think it was fine generally, just to have the 1 point in Curse of Awareness. And spell usage, also pretty bad. I don't think I used my spells on my teammates enough. I think I focused too much on myself.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So that's definitely some things I really need to think about, and I'm pinging back the Spectre. We have the ward up there, so we see them coming, so I'm just trying to hang out with her, make sure she's safe, but I start taking on this really passive role, and
This'll come in handy.
I forced myself into that situation.
Illusion.
Because if I had made space for our Spectre, if our Spectre had been able to survive and get her items online, it could have been an entirely different game, but it wasn't, because I failed to use my skills properly, I think. So our Enchantress is getting pretty ahead. She has 17 Bloodstone charges, and I'm just standing there like a dumbass again. So this is another inefficiency that I really need to address. Yeah, I stood there for like 20 seconds or something.
To turn the leaf up.
Again, I don't have a TP scroll, so I can't rotate anywhere.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Kill the one guy with my blade mail, that's fine, but he created a lot of space for his team. We don't have fort, we don't have anyone top.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I think that was a pretty poor TP from Bane, but I've done exactly that kind of play before, and it's something I need to not do again. So we get a few pickoffs here, so definitely okay, but we still lost our tier 3. And that probably means they're okay with that. I want to say they're okay with that. Their lineup is a lot better than ours late game, so they're probably okay with it. And I try not to talk about like, well, our picks, we just couldn't win with our picks. That's only true some of the time. It's not really a factor that much. Like, for example, a Broodmother will virtually always win or lose lane against an Axe, and there's really nothing she can do about that, but there's ways you can deal with it. So I think, I mean, they just scaled better than we did, but we had a pretty strong early game team, and we failed to use it. So that's on us, and on me especially, for really poorly utilizing this strong early game hero. And I built a bunch of auras. I was actually using a build from, I can't remember his name, but he plays a lot of Abbadon, and I figured I would do that one. Auras, some useful items that aren't auras, such as the Blade Mail. Just make myself good to be in the center of these fights, and I think that's really how Abbadon is optimally played. A hero that's in the center of the fight, and is just causing as much chaos as he can, like throwing out shields, right-clicking down their supports, because thanks to Curse of Avernus, his right-clicks are actually pretty decent. And I think I just failed to do that effectively. And when I did finally start to do it, when I kind of started fulfilling my hero's role, it was too late. So I'm going to fast forward till we get to a point that's useful, and here I am getting blown up really quickly again. So this is a good fight, and that's kind of what I should have been doing the whole game. Like, just eat up a lot of their damage. Eat up as much of their damage as I possibly could. Just walk in there, make them roar me, make them mana void, make them just stun me, just everything, blow everything on me, and I just didn't do that. And this is pretty bad because I don't have a TP, so I have to walk all this way, and we lose a Rax because of it. So I probably could have sold the Orb of Venom at this point. Curse of Avernus does basically the same thing. I mean, Curse of Avernus doesn't cancel Blink like the Orb, and I finally do, but I should have done that sooner. I go to push out this lane. I'm just fast forwarding to try to minimize on time that I spend walking. I really don't think I should be building it. I hope I don't actually finish BKB. I don't think I go for BKB. I think I go S and Y instead. But BKB I think is actually pretty bad on this hero. You want to be taking as much damage as possible. When they have good AoE, like the Freezing Field and Epicenter, plus like Hope Stomp and even Double Edge kind of, you want to soak that up so that they can't help but heal you when your ult goes off. Especially if you go in Ag, so you reduce damage from your team, and that's something I could have thought about, but I think that's like a 4th item, probably. Probably an item after an S and Y. Something more... But I guess if you're support, you should probably go Ags after like a Vlad's, because I think Vlad's is pretty core on this hero. And instead of Phase, although I guess you could still go Phase as support and just try to take on a more of a 4 will be a really harassing hero. And I do admit I do not know much about this hero in the competitive scene, and I'm going to make it a point to learn more, since not just for my own personal play, but also because I do want to be a caster, and I think it's my responsibility to kind of understand how the different ways these heroes are played. Interestingly enough, I actually believed I could 1v1 this anti-mage, just because with Blade Mail and Curse of Avernus and my ultimate, I don't think he could have killed me, solo anyway. But I still feel like I was wasting a lot of time. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't mind that it's like, oh, it's this Abbadon just like hitting at me a bit, and I could have TP'd here, I think. He manages to blink away, and I don't know if I would have been able to get him. I could have, I guess, Blade Mailed. But just personally, I just feel like, and I know I've said it a bunch of times, and I'm trying to get better at doing these things, but poor spell usage, poor map movement, poor positioning, extreme inefficiency, early game itemization was really bad, I think my build was alright for this game. I think actually a Halberd would have been a pretty good pickup. Just because this anime wasn't going to go BKB. Or at least he didn't go BKB, and even so Halberd would have been pretty good. Some beef, okay damage. The active is probably the most important part. And this Spectre was just really behind, and I feel kind of responsible for that. I don't think we could have made stacks for her because we had a jungling Enchantress, and that was my Steam again. So, because when you have a jungler, and this is one of the reasons I really, really dislike a jungler in pubs, is you can't really stack the jungle for your core, your safe lane farmer, because the jungler is going to take all of the stacks. So I feel like I probably should have just like said, "Hey, Enchantress, you should off lane," or even just had pretty much anyone else go off lane and just hung out with the Spectre. Just made sure that she was able to get her items, and let me check if Enchantress got drums, because I shouldn't have if she did. Okay, so she didn't. So that's good. Let me switch back to me. Oh, I clicked on Spectre.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
So I start thinking about AC, but see Ench is going for it, and decide to go for something else. I throw a shield on that, try to keep the lane slightly pushed, and then I run back to base. And at least I have TPs this time, I guess. But it just feels like, I mean, my score looks better now, but I still didn't accomplish all that much, admittedly. Definitely was not my best game. Definitely was not a game that I played very strongly in. And I'm actually going to be cutting this replay fairly soon because they start to really, really dominate us, and I think we still had a chance to win at this point, but there's a couple more misplays that I make that I really want to observe, I think. So I have no ult anymore. I'm just going to get blown up. Shield dies really quickly. The blade mill's not going to help. And this was pretty bad. I think Zeus dies. Yeah, they have a ward up there, so they just kill him. Oh, never mind. He gets away. I thought for sure he died there. I feel like a Solar Crest would have been a pretty good item here, actually. Put it on our Enchantress, make her a lot tankier up against this Anti-Mage, even more than she was. Just, I think after the Vlads, the drums, and the blade mill, I kind of got really lost what I wanted. I probably could have dropped the wand at this point, got maybe just a SN. I think SNY would have been okay, but I think Medallion would have been more useful for the team, or even go Mech or Guardian Greaves, because I don't remember if Bane got. No, Bane didn't. I think I could have got Mech or Guardian Greaves, and that would have been another really beneficial item to pick up for the team. So I need to fast forward while I'm dead, so I don't waste time. So at this point, we're still not super behind. We're only down 1 lane of Rax, and this is... I probably should have TP'd bot, but I do... Okay, so I ended up going Halberd. I don't have buyback anymore. I'm just farming. Trying to push out this lane. And... it's just, I need to really figure out what I'm supposed to be doing at any given time, especially on this kind of hero. It's something that is a real roadblock for me, and I think I'm actually at a roadblock right now. I think I'm actually kind of hitting my skill cap, where I'm like, alright, 3.3, 3.2 range, 3.4 range is where I'm gonna belong, because I can't really figure out what exactly it is that I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's really bad to not know what you're supposed to be doing. And hopefully after I do enough of these I'll really figure it out. So I'm gonna fast forward, walking back, trying to become a part of this fight. I get there really late. I should have toggled my blade. Okay, I toggled my blade mill during my ult. I should have toggled it before. So I do manage to get the Beastmaster, but then I just kind of feed again. And this time I actually think I get buyback from... Oh, never mind. I lost a lot of gold. So... I think this is when the game kind of ends. Yeah, this isn't the end. It actually drags on for a few minutes more, but this is it. And I think I'm actually in like half speed, yeah. So,
Middle tower has fallen.
closing note, and I've said it like 5 times.
Dire's bottom
Early game, I laned pretty poorly, I fed a lot, overextending. Map awareness, no early rotations when I could have made early rotations. And I think that's a lot of it. Oh, and poor spell usage and bad team fight positioning. So, anyways, thank you for watching. If you have anything else to add about what I did really poorly this game, please let me know. I really do appreciate feedback. I really do want to get better, to help me get better at not only the game in general, but so that I feel like I can do justice when I cast games. And again, I appreciate you if you watched, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope maybe it helped you out a little bit too, and good night.